sila si Senior Aguila ng Kapihan sa Socorro will be brought to your office mamaya for PI. Although this is beyond your control already, maghingi lang sana ako ng estimate kung kailan ma-resolve ng korte yung whether may issuehan silang warrant or hindi para yung lead time namin sa aming mga ginagawa. What do you think? Gaano kahaba pa ang panahon? After your PI mamaya, bago may issuehan ng warrant?
Target po namin, Senator, ay mid-November. Kasi po magpa-file po ng supplemental complaint dahil po dun sa huling hearing at sa mga bagong witnesses natin, may mga bagong allegation laban sa mga respondents. So magpa-file po yung ating mga yun NBI, assisted po by prosecutors, at bibigyan po ng oras sumagot yung mga respondents. Ngunit alam po namin na importante po to, alam namin ang timeline, kaya ang target po ay hopefully malabas ang resolution by mid-November.
Mid-November?
Yes, sir.
Kung matagal-tagal pa sila dyan sa baba. Anyway, pag-usapan namin ng committee namin yan kung how to deal with them dahil yung may sakit yung isa, tapos alam mo na, yung mga pamilya nila nagre-request na i-release na daw sila. Pero depende pa rin yan sa next hearing namin kung hindi na sila magsinungaling, baka babait yung membro ng committee. Pero kung patuloy pa rin sila magsinungaling, then baka abot sila ng mid-November dyan. Yun lang ang status ngayon. So, please, follow up na lang niyo para mabilis. Yes, sir. Pero, alam mo, during my time, when I was there, I really saw to it na never itong mga gangs na ito magkocontrol sa affair sa loob. It should be the corrections officer mag-control. Sabi ko nga sa kanila, kung siga kayo dito, ngayon, kami ang siga. Hindi kayo pwede maging siga. Alam mo yung sir, yung catwalk natin dyan, twice a day ko yan iniikot. Yung catwalk sa loob ng maximum. Iniikot, ewan ko kayo, kung iniikutan pa yan ng gwardiya. Morning and afternoon ko yan iniikot. Talaga to see to it na hindi makakontrol yung gang dyan sa loob. Dapat tayo may control, yung ating mga corrections officer. Talagang liable sila kapag nagkalat yung mga tao na doon sa loob. Dapat kontrolado talaga natin. But anyway, mahirap talaga i-control. Mahirap. Ako, aminado ko, mahirap i-control. Pero kung gamitan natin ng kamay na bakal at saka yung matibay na pananampalataya, talagang makukontrol natin yung mga siraulo dyan sa loob.
Yung mga pananampalataya dyan, dapat yung talagang sa tunay na Diyos ang pananampalataya, di ba? Yan, wag yung inimbento lang ni Senator Bato na Panginoon. I mean, it's just the freedom of movement, the liberty ang nawala sa kanila. Maybe the right to vote. Tama ba? They're deprived of the right to vote, no? Tama? Are they deprived of the right to vote? Yeah.
So it depends on the sentence.
Depends on the sentence. Sa accessory penalty. Okay, sige. So, sige po. Kailangan natin ng magandang plano dyan because yun meron kasabihan that the way you treat your prisoners reflects on the quality of your society. Same with your children. Ganun yata yun. The way you treat the children and the prisoners. Magkita mo yung commonality ng dalawa, these are the voiceless. So we never should abuse and forget the voiceless in our society. Tsaka yun ang penalty nila. Ang penalty nila is the deprivation of liberty, hindi yung deprivation of all the rights or humanity. Hindi naman yun ang penalty nila. Ngayon, siguro ang nangyayari, ito, life imprisonment, reclusion perpetua, 27,000. Siguro, Secretary, and to the entire justice family, pag-isipan natin mabuti ito. Are we making criminal too many acts and are we punishing too severely? Yan ang pag-isipan natin. We may be punishing too severely. May mga non-violent crimes dyan na 10 years is already hell. Diba? Especially with the description ng ating jails and prisons. Na-feature nga tayo, Mr. Chairman, sa the world's toughest prisons. Nandun. Pero ang comment nung nung host doon, yung nag-experiment ng life in jails or prison, not because of our detainees are tough katulad ng ibang bansa na but they find our system strange, that it is the persons under detention running the system, even the jail system. Si Dr. Agbayani just died in the Manila City Jail. Imagine mo yun. No? Well, and then I think, I do not know kung authentic yung kumakalat na letter niya. Ano, he described life in the Manila City Jail. So, yun na nga. So, in connection with the punishing...
Pero,
ba to?
Senator Coco, in fairness sa New Bilibid Prison, kahit na sabihin mo, the worst yung kanilang living condition dyan. Pero magtanong ka, ang daming matatanda dyan, na ayaw, kahit natapos ang sentence nila, ayaw umalis. Nagustuhan nilang buhay nila sa loob. Oh, ayaw na talaga umalis. Uy, tapos ng sentence mo, uwi ka na. Hindi sir, dito na lang ako sir. Dahil wala na akong mauwian. This is already my life. Marami ha, hindi sa binukuan ko. Kundi, they have adopted the system of living sa loob at napamahal na nila yung loob. So, masabi mo rin na okay pala sa kanila yung ganyang klaseng buhay. Adjusted sila. Yun lang. Thank you. For info. Thank you.
Sige pa. These are unique individuals siguro, but pero nakita ko rin naman din sa mga documentary na yun that, you know, marami nag-aaral, skills training, okay, and then the physical fitness, okay. So continue that good work na meron yata kayo napapagraduate, no? Meron na sa individual, may nabasa nga ako sa Cebu rin, nag-graduate sila. So on the issue nga that we may be punishing too many acts, Mr. Chairman, what is your issue, Secretary, with the 3 bloggers? Sino to? Hindi ko sinusundan yung mga vlogger na yun, pero nasundan ko yung issue na ano papakulong mo rin yung three
No, sir.
vloggers.
Maybe the message is really the person they interviewed a person wanted by the law. A person wanted by the law never appeared to respect the jurisdiction of our legal system. So they interviewed somebody like that. So may standing warrant of arrest po yan. But when you interview somebody like that, you're already telling the people it's okay to flout the law. And probably it's contempt of court, sir. As I said in our press conference, it's contempt of court when you're telling people it's okay to disrespect the court by saying that saying many things without respecting the jurisdiction of the court, sir.
So is your issue against the 3 bloggers on the content of the interview or the mere fact of interviewing a person who was a outstanding
The mere fact
warrant
of
arrest?
interviewing somebody wanted by the law and without disclosing, without being cooperative with the legal system, sir.
All of a sudden, it becomes their fault?
Sir,
It becomes the fault of
sir,
the
we are
interviewers?
entitled to freedom. We have all our freedom. We will die defending freedom, sir. But when it comes to obeying the law and respecting the law, I think it's something that we should also die for. We also have to make sure that people still respect our legal system.
Yun ang point ko, what was the law being violated? Because they did they interview in person
Sir, it's just
or
con-
Zoom?
sir, it's-
Was it on Zoom or an in-person interview?
I'm not sure, sir, but it's
you
direct
already-
or indirect contempt of court, sir.
Hindi pwedeng direct contempt yun. The direct contempt must happen right before the judge. Hindi
Indirect
pwede.
contempt of court, sir.
Hindi. Okay. You didn't even know what happened and you already have formed that it's a possible indirect contempt.
I had it investigated, and that is what was given to me by our people. That is the act. That the act being given attention to is the lack of respect for the legal system, sir.
Mr. Chair. if
But
I
it's,
can-
I just make one pa bago ko malimutan. So it's just banggaan lang ng values ito eh. So the Secretary invokes respect for the legal system. While on the other side of the coin is free speech. So I do not know how they can be held to account for the fact of their desire to talk to somebody and was an outstanding warrant of arrest and then siguro pinost ba nila ito online? Hindi ko napanood din actually because wala naman akong issue against them. But Secretary, you should find out everything before
Sir,
before you say these things. Pa-chilling effect ang resulta niyan eh.
Sir, honestly, I try not to watch it because I'm the one being alluded to in the interview, and I don't want to watch it. I don't want to waste my time listening to people who would just want to malign my person, sir. So I asked the other people to investigate it for me.
You were the one, you have a footage, ikaw nagsasalita, you have that.
We're in possession of footages, sir.
You have
We're
not
in
even
possession
seen the.
of
No,
footages.
I saw the footage of you saying that you will file
Well, that's what we are
charges,
trying to
but-
work on, sir.
Anyway.
To ask the court to consider contempt, because it is not something that we want replicated all over the country, that we glorify people who do not obey the law.
Well, at any rate, Mr. Chairman, siguro in due time that the theory of our secretary will be tested in court. But of course, I will side with the freedom of our people to speech, to associate and to make known to the public facts and opinions. Wala namang mali sa opinion, opinion. So at any rate, Mr. Chairman, I think our senior lawyer in the Senate wants to say something, Mr.
No, I just
Chairman.
would like to.
Are you
with the
done
permission-
with your questioning?
Hindi pa, pero is my time over, Mr. Chairman?
You've had two and a half rounds already in one round.
Baka-
Minority,
baka-
we've been very liberal.
The time consumed by Senator Bato was counted against me, Mr. Chairman. Sige, siguro sa next round na lang
We'll
kayo,
give a
Dennis.
chance
I'll
to-
go to the COA findings. Meron niya maraming COA findings.
Okay, thank
And
you.
even PCGG siguro tatanungin ko na lang kayo on what's the effect of the right sizing concept on the PCGG, is the relevance of the PCGG, etc. Sige, at the request of our chairman, I'm yielding my time, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the generous time that you have given to me.
Thank you. Thank you, Minority Leader. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair
just an
Francis.
interjection. I will donate half of my time to the good minority leader. Perhaps he can still apprise this committee. Sino ba yung tinutukoy yung tatlong vloggers? Ano ba yun? Kasi marami ako na, can you identify and the incident itself? For the record, just to be part of the records of this committee hearing. Sino po ba? Ano ba-
Hindi ako nanonood noon. Ang napanood ko is the press conference of our secretary. So Secretary, if you can identify the 3 bloggers na gusto mong pailan ng contempt charges before the court.
Ano po yung insidente? Kasi ang dami pong... Oh.
Sir, sorry, I don't have their names now, sir. I cannot answer that question now.
Sir, Mr. Chairman, how about yung sir, yung wanted person na in-interview nila?
The interviewee.
Interviewee, yeah.
The interviewers,
May-
hindi pa natin alam kung sino, but the interviewee, the subject,
Mayroon,
The subject was Mr. Bantag.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Secretary. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yun lang, Mr. Chair. Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman, okay, siguro if I can just request for an organized presentation of the plan. No? Siguro, what is the Supermax? How much is the budget? How many years natin na hintayin yan bago kasi may legal basis na, sabi nyo. So, paano matayo? How about the regional prisons? Saan ba ito located? Ilan ito? How much would be the budget? How many years? Kasi I'm looking at this chart ninyo, table ninyo rito, na even sa mga Iwahig Prison, Davao Prison, sa mga regional natin, ang occupancy rate more than 100% na rin pala eh. Tama? Ganun, tama yung Director General, no?
Yes, sir, you're right, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Walang tag 250% pa nga ang pinakamababa. So, we really have a big problem, Mr. President, because ako naniniwala that, our prisoners still have their rights. May human rights yan, yung mga...
Maximum security. Because we have to be able to bring them to areas where they are near their families, so they can still be, our belief is they can still be subject to corrections to be able to be rehabilitated, to rejoin society. So, but the Supermax facility, I believe, is really more important for us to bring those who can still carry out criminal activities so that we can stop them from undertaking criminal activities. That's why we are recommending the drug lords who with a telephone can cause drugs to be distributed throughout the country.
So, okay, now I understand it, Mr. Chairman. It's a fourth category pala, so we will have a minimum, medium, maximum, and a super max. Okay, so. Okay, kasi ang pagkakaalam ko dyan, dapat andun siya sa sa the incentive to escape eh. Kaya minamaximum muna actually yung mga life at saka yung mga death eh, kasi meron ng incentive to escape eh. So, ito pala sa atin, sa Philippine approach is because they're able to still conduct criminal activity. But it's the same people running it. Maximum na nga sila. And when you admit that they're continuing their criminal activities and then a supermax, so what's the difference?
Sir, when we have a mega prison like Muntinlupa, and we do not have enough guards, it is already the prisoners who control the scene. Sa totoo lang po, sila na po ang may control ng lahat. Halimbawa po, may nawawalang tao sa kulungan. Minsan, kung tayo po maghahanap, hindi tayo magpapatulong sa mga prisoners. 2 araw, 3 araw na, hindi pa natin nahahanap yung tao na kailangan natin. Yun po yung coping mechanism natin dito. Ay nangyayari po, yung gangs, yung organization doon, sila po talaga nagko-control na show. Kaya kailangan po mas maliit po yung prison, mas kaunti ang tao, para mas maganda yung ratio ng bantay sa nakakulong po. Kaya pagka ganun po yung pinag-uusapan, 30,000 people, ang laki po ng problema natin kasi hindi natin talaga makokontrol unless we build smaller jails like regional prisons para we can be in control of the people. Pero basta ganun kalaki, wala talaga taas ang kamay nyo, mahirapan po tayo talaga.
Pero, Senator Coco, Mr. Chair, ganun pa rin ang problema nyon. Kahit na palit-litan natin ang facilities, kung ang manpower the same pa rin, ang ratio na 1:1 or whatever ratio, ideal ratio that we want to achieve, hindi pa rin natin ma-achieve yung pagkukontrol sa kanila.
Ang nangyayari kasi ngayon, sa laki po ng Muntinlupa, sa dami po ng tao, yung prison guards nga, hindi natin makontrol din eh. Yung dami ng prison guards, mga 5,000 ba yan dapat, Director DG? Mga 5,000 guards yan, di ba? At any one time.
Yes.
Hindi ho natin nakikita yung 5,000 guards na yan. We don't see all of them. And sometimes we suspect that only half of them go to work. Or only 2,000 of them go to work out of the 5,000. Kasi nga, sobrang laki ng facility eh. Kaya we really have to put them in controlled facilities where a head count is always possible every 2 to 3 hours na hindi po kinakailangan magre-rely sa gang. Kasi ngayon everything the gangs are the ones